Welcome back to my channel. I want to say hello to the new subscribers. We've had a little flurry of subscribers and comments and likes, and that's all very exciting. I'm just out in the greenhouse. I'm about to leave for work, but I thought I'd make sure everything was nice and watered, as it's all sort of coming out above the ground now. Yeah, let me flip you around and I will show you what's going on in here. So I have a few daffodils left. Most of them have gone up to the plot now. They've either been planted in the herb bed or in the girls' little beds. But then I've got my shallots, which are all doing quite nicely. I've only got one that's got green, but the rest, like I said, just water them. I've got roots starting to appear at the bottom, so that's quite good. Obviously the ones that I show you don't. Oh, there we go. So yeah, they're rooting quite nicely. These are sweet peas. So these are just a mixture of seeds that we got from Home Bargains. So they were like, I think they're about 70p, and we've put them all in, and it looks like they're all starting to come up, which is exciting. These ones had already sprouted. We'd soaked them and then forgot them, and they'd all sprouted in the water in the little pot that we'd put them in. So these ones got a bit of a head start, but it looks like all of them are coming up now, which is exciting. Right, these are the strawberry plants that we found buried at the plot underneath all of the brambles. I think there's actually 2 crowns in here, but they're so tightly wound together there wasn't any point separating and maybe breaking them. I think we've ended up with about 16 pots of strawberry plants. I've trimmed off all of the old leaves and we've got lovely new ones coming now, all springing up. So these are obviously still healthy and going well. I'm planning on putting them into a bed in front of the trees next to where all the onions are, and sort of making that their permanent spot. I'm hoping to plant only a third of the bed for the strawberry plants so that I can replace them regularly, because from what I've heard you need to replace your strawberry plants quite regularly to make sure you get a decent crop. Yeah, so there's a bit of grass in there. Pull that out. Right, so these are my onion sets. I don't know what varieties they are, just red and white. These came from the allotment shop, so I've put these in to try and get them rooting to begin with. So I've got one over here, I don't know if you can see underneath there, the roots are pushing it out of the ground, which is, I've pushed it in a couple of times and it's not going back in anymore, so it's obviously rooted quite well. And I've got one that's got just a little bit of green coming, so that's cool. They're obviously enjoying it in there. I figure that if they don't root and they don't have any green by the time I'm wanting to plant them, then they're not going to root, which just saves me planting them and wasting the space. So yeah, those are my onions. I think I've got 90 something, just under 100 onions. So we'll see how we go with those. And then last but not least, I've got my flower seeds. Now the cosmos aren't doing anything yet. They take a little while to come up and it probably needs to be a bit warmer for them, so I might have to plant them again. But over on this side I've got Sweet Rocket, and then next to them I've got Snapdragons. And considering how large the plants get, these are the tiniest little seedlings I've ever seen in my life. They're so dinky. But yeah, they're coming up, so that's cool. I want to grow some flowers, just a little patch, to try and make sure I've got some cut flowers. My first year of doing it, I really enjoyed that I could that I could pick a vase of flowers each week, just like a little bud vase, but it was so nice to have my own flowers from the garden. Evening, so it's about 12 hours after I last filmed what I was doing in the greenhouse. It's freezing outside. I mean, it's freezing inside as well. I'm up at the big shed at the top of my garden, and I want to pot on some of my little baby seedlings, and I'm just going to show you how I plan on doing that and what I've actually been growing at the moment. So if I just flip you around, I can show you what I've been doing. Right, so these are my babies. Most of them have come out of the ground now. I sowed them about 2 weeks ago, I want to say. I did make a note in my diary, but obviously I don't have that with me because that would have been way too sensible to share with you. I've decided to put them on because although they haven't got their first true leaves yet, this way I can just sort of lift them out and they'll have more than enough room. I don't want to be at the stage where I get busy and then I forget and then they're all intertwined with each other. So now they've germinated. They were only in seed compost, so I mean it won't do them very long anyway. Right, so right at the front, these little ones, these are pak choi. I will be trying to sow these successionally, I think that's the word. So sow them every few weeks once the season really kicks into gear, so that as I take them out I can put new little ones back in. At least that's the plan anyway. Right, next row after pak choi are my tomatoes. So I've got 2 varieties. I've got these ones. I've got 3 come up. The other one just clearly wasn't bothered. And they're called Red Profusion. They're a tumbling variety. They're meant to be one of the best ones for hanging baskets. So I'll be growing those. Last year it did beautifully in a basket, so I only had one. I've got lots more baskets this year. So I'm planning on filling them all with these bad boys. Right, next ones are Alicantes. Now I've had all 4 come up, but this one, bless it, look at it, it's tiny. I don't know if I'm going to keep that one. I might just get rid and keep the 3 stronger seedlings. They're meant to be good for growing outside as well as in the greenhouse, so wherever I end up putting them, it doesn't matter. Next row is terribly boring. I'll be leaving these be. They're peppers and they take an absolute age to come up. If anybody's grown peppers, you know you need to put them in like the year before to get them going. It's madness. So I'll be leaving those be. And it's the same with the Cavolo Nero. Right, the last row is cauliflowers. I think, if I remember rightly, these are the grow all the year round. I want to say that's the name. They're a bit leggy, but we'll give them a go. Worst comes to worst, I have to start over. Now I'm going to try and fish them out without breaking. Wish me luck. Right, so I'm going to try and show you what I'm doing. Bear with me, it's kind of hard to make sure you guys see everything. So I've filled up my modules that I have with just multi-purpose compost. These modules are probably overkill for these tiny little babies, but honestly it's all I have, and you know, you may do. So I've got my little tool. I don't know if you can see it. It came free with something, and you know, actually it's quite handy. So I usually just dig around a little bit, nice and gently. I haven't watered these yet, I mean purposefully, just because I find it's easier to get the little seedlings out. There we go. So there's one baby. Right, can you see? Don't know if you can see. So one baby with all its little roots attached, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a hole in the module over there, and then I'm going to put it in. I'm trying to hold it by its leaves because I really don't want to damage the stem. I think I've already broken one of them, but we will see. And then I'm going to bury it quite a bit deeper than the roots and firm it in. And there we go. Have one little baby all by itself. Now I'm going to get on and do the rest of these, and then I'll show you when I come back. So here we are. I've ended up with 12 little pak choi seedlings, all quite happily sat in their own little modules by themselves. I do have a couple left, but me and my sausage fingers managed to break one of the stems, crushed another one, and I just decided not to bother with this tiny little dinky thing. And it gives me 2 trays full of pak choi to carry on growing on. So essentially I'm so cold that I'm going to leave that for this evening. I've done quite a few. These ones will wait for another day. They're not going anywhere, and I've still got a bit of time before they get too big to be able to prick out and pot on. So I am really cold now. I'm going to go back inside and get nice and warm. But thank you very much for watching. I am going to try and get a couple of videos out a week if I can, if the weather is kind and the lights are right in the evening. So yeah, thank you very much for watching and liking and subscribing to my channel. Hopefully you'll enjoy joining me on my journey to growing in my new allotment this year. It's very exciting. I'm sure you've heard that word a lot from me in this video. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.